What's up, everybody? It's your boy Slim, aka Mr. Different, back with another video today. It's gonna be the first part of a few series that I'm gonna be doing, getting started with Studio One, helping you guys out understand Studio One and getting the ball rolling with Studio One. Because I am making a switch. I want to take you guys on an adventure. Because like I said, not only am I gonna be doing FL Studio videos, I'm also gonna be doing Studio One videos on top of that. So you'll be getting 2 videos a day, one for FL Studio, one for Studio One. So there you go. Hope you guys are happy. Not trying to do my best for everybody, just please them all. So today we're gonna get started with FL Studio and get you up and running with FL Studio. Showing you how you can create, the main interface to get you going, and kind of just give you a little overview of what Studio One has offered. Then I'm gonna dig deeper into, actually how to operate FL Studio One before we start doing more stuff with it. So we open Studio One. If you're using the artist, the producer, or even I think the free one, it starts off like this. You have this interface, and you see new song, project, open existing documents, show you, your links and stuff like that, your account, add artist accounts, all that information, news feed, demos, tutorials, and your interface. So it's pretty, it shows you everything right there. I like that, so you can make sure everything's set up the way you want to and get rolling that way. Now, let's say show my recent songs, my recent files, songs, and projects, so it kind of separates them. Songs are basically where you're going to be making your beats, where you're going to be, making your beats, recording your tracks, mixing, mastering, all that, mixing all that good stuff, effects and all that. That's what you're going to use songs for, and sequencing and all that good stuff, and editing MIDI and all that. Projects is basically like when you're putting together a bunch of songs into one project for like mastering or something like that, making a CD, digital distribution, making a burn copy for digital duplication, that sort of mess. So there is that. So that you got to decide which one you want to do with that, and that kind of, gets you going right there. So we're just going to start a new song because that's what we're going to bear off with. Now, when you start a new song, what you get is you get styles, interface, and users, and basically your different templates. We're going to look at that real quick in a second. First, you get to select your song name, so you give it a title, select where you want to go. So pretty much it gets it all set up for you and saved for you right at the forefront. So you ain't got to worry about saving it later or anything like that if you forget. It's already saved, ready to go, just in case. I like that feature. Then you can select your sample rate, depending on what you're recording in, 44.1 all the way up to my interface goes up to 192 because I have a high-end interface. So I don't record that high quality because, there's really no point. I mean, there is a point to it. You do get some benefits to it, but in most cases, 44.1 is just as good. You can select your resolution between 16-bit, 16-bit, 24-bit, or 32-bit floating point. I stick with 24-bit because it's the best quality you can get, in most interfaces use 24-bit anyway. 16-bit, if your computer is really kind of slow and can't really handle stuff like that, you need a little bit less CPU power going on, you can use 16-bit. I don't recommend it, but it's up to you. Then the time base, how the timeline is going to be shown by seconds, samples, bars, or frames, just depending on how you want it. I leave it alone. The song length, you're going to determine how long your song going to be. I don't worry about that. You can go ahead and select your song tempo. If you don't know, don't worry about it. You can always change it in the DAW, so it's cool. And then your time signature, how you want to, your time signature to be displayed. So once that's all figured out, then you select what you want to do your styles. Now, have different presets or templates. When you start off, you have empty song, band recording, house, techno, vocal arrangement, piano, ballad, rock, vocals, guitars. It's pretty much set up for, if you kind of know what you want. I usually use empty because I don't know how I'm going to make my beat. But if you already know how you're going to do it, like you're going to do like a vocalist with a guitar, you can go ahead and set up vocal and guitar, and have everything set up and routed the way it should be, if you want to do that. But personally, I don't do that. And it just tells you what each one does. Like, say, use a vocal and guitar for a song, pro template for piano, string, bass, guitar, inputs, and vocals, just everything. Interface, if you have one of the interfaces, one of the Persona interfaces, you can actually set up your template to work with one of the interfaces. I don't own one myself. Hopefully I'm going to be getting one really soon, but at the moment I don't, so I don't worry about that. And then user, if you make your own templates. So let's just go ahead and start an empty song. Boom. There go the main interface right there. Give you a little overview of what's going on. You have your main window, which is your sequencer, your main sequencer. You have your specialty, like your specialty window, which can display different things. I usually put on the I mode because I is the intelligent mode, which kind of pretty much the inspector mode, and it pretty much gives you a little bit more information on stuff you do when you add tracks. It gives you like a little bit of information, a little bit more insight on stuff, which is pretty cool. Next, you have your browser window, which you can get rid of by pressing browser down here, if you see. And if I'm gonna move my face for just a second, It shows what you got. You got instruments, you got your effects, your loops, files, cloud, and pool. And they each do their own thing. Instruments where all your VST instruments gonna be. Effects, all your effects, your loops, your files. Like if you're gonna browse the certain files, because I actually have like certain files that I browse through. Like if I'm looking for like my drum kits and stuff like that, that's all in my files, and I locate them that way. And then you have the cloud, which you can put on SoundCloud or whatever. You can upload to said, cloud service, whichever one you use. And then your pool is basically like all your recordings in your session is going to be in a pool. So you can actually take those individual recordings and dump them somewhere, record them, or if you want to take that piece by piece, whatever. Next, you have your mix window. If you bring that up, you got your mixer down here. I'm gonna bring myself back over here. You got your mixer right here, which is, when you add in tracks to start showing everything. So your master input, the input that's right here, which would be if I add a track, we just boom, add one, it's right there. It'll show what it is. I can make it bigger, make it smaller, make it skinny, make it big, show just the show all my inputs, show my outputs, so the trash, the trash bin, my external stuff, like external hardware, stuff like that, and instruments if I, want to see my instruments, which I don't have right now. So that's pretty cool right there. So I do like that function right there in the DAW. Also we have like I said, now we have, like, I put something in here so you see that. So yeah. So what's next? Oh yeah, the transport controls. You have all your transport controls right below. So you have, pause, stop, play, record, forward, back, rewind. You got your sample rate, your performance. You got MIDI. So if you trigger some kind of MIDI instrument, like I'm triggering right now, you see it lights up, showing you got MIDI going in, and the blue one's showing MIDI going out. So if you have like something triggering, like you have MIDI triggering, like like you have like a hardware, like a hardware unit that holds sounds, you can use that to trigger, use your MIDI controller to trigger that, and it'll show that it's sending MIDI to that instrument to be shot back into your computer. So there's that, which is pretty cool. You got the bars, it's pretty cool. You got your metronome, you got your left and right speakers, you got little functions, you got your little icons, you get like more details, recording mode, you can either replace, tracking, that's more advanced stuff, which I'm not getting to today. You have your countdown, so the little circle right here is your countdown, so you hit that, it starts counting down like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you drop it, you can actually hit the button beside it, which is the metronome setup, and then you can actually select your metronome, like what kind of sound you want to click, how many bars it's going to count off, that kind of stuff, repeat accents. You can change it to a cowbell, logistics, rim shot, tools, or you can actually add your own sound and have your own metronome sound, which, I mean, you might can do something stupid like going and make it into a metronome sound, which is pretty cool, I guess. And you have your metronome on and off, and then you have the timing of the whatever your bars are, the tempo. You can double click to actually change your tempo, and also if you hit the tempo button, see tempo right here, if you tap on it, you can actually tap your tempo by just doing that. That's a feature that took me a while to figure out, but if you want to tap tempo, you just hover over tempo and just click 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can tap your tempo that way if you're trying to like match it to a sample. Good thing to know. And then you have the edit window, but when you actually add in audio, you can actually bring up this and start editing and get into nitty gritty. And then I'll get into that in another video. Just kind of a basic overview. Up here you have your different type of tools. You have your regular mouse tool, your regular pointer tool. You have your highlight tool. You have your splice tool, erase. You have the pen, the draw tool, so you can draw in there. You have that. You have your this is called the blend tool. You can blend something together. You have the listen tool, and then you have some other functions right here. You have quantization, so you can quantize your stuff, add swing and stuff like that, which, like I said, I'll be getting into more detail in another video. You have your what is this? I don't even know what this one is, to be honest with you. I haven't read up on this one. I don't even use this. Input quantization. Oh, don't worry about that. You have your digital type of quantization, so you can actually select how the bars are selected. So you can go like, all the way to like 1 to 1, 1 to 2, and do so forth. See, I was adding in extra little clicks, and it'll allow you, if you record something, if you like record something in here, let's just draw something in real quick. It'll allow you to determine how you get to move it around. So if I put it on, let's say one bar, so every bar, see I was snapping to every bar or every measure. Now if I turn to 16, let's go to 1/16 or 1/64, look, I can individually move it in there. And if you zoom in, you get to see each little click that it's actually snapping to. You can change it on bars, samples, or seconds, or frames, depending on how you want to look at it. And you got your snap mode. You have your snap right here to turn snap on and off. This is the follow mode, so as you're playing the song, it starts following along with the song. Or if you don't want to do that, I leave it on. And then you have this button right here, which I really like. This is the scratch pad, which I'll be going into more detail about that. But if you have an idea, say you're working on a song and you come up with another melody in the song that you're making right now, you can actually hit the scratch pad. It'll bring up a separate like little window or sequencer where you can actually do something there, save it. You can then save it, whatever you want to call it, save it, blah, blah, blah. Close it, and now you can say that right there. So say you're in the middle of a beat, you're like, oh, I hear another song. You can lay that down real quick in the scratch pad, save it, and then continue working. Like instead of you having to think of another song or something like that, you have to save your session, close the session, open up a new session, try to remember to lay it down, and then save that, and then close it and reopen yourself. It saves you a lot of time if you want to, if you just happen to have that instant spark of creativity or the sound you found you don't want to forget that sound. The scratch pad is good to use right there, so I like that function. Let's talk about adding in audio and instruments real quick before we go into the end of the video. So if you want to add an audio track, it's very simple. You just right click, go click add audio track or track, select audio or whatever you want to select. You can make it into an instrument track, automation, or a folder. So if you want an audio instrument track, you click right there. Then you select your color, how many you want. So say I want 6 of them. That's pretty cool. What format? Mono, stereo. I recommend mono if you're doing like audio, but if you're recording something in stereo, be you. You can select presets, so you can have your own presets already designated to that if you want. Select the input you're recording in. That's the input of your interface and where the outputs go. So if I hit OK, it made 6 of them. They're all set, ready to go. I can hit record, and it's starting to record. I can mute it. I can solo it, mute it. This is the monitor section, so if I want to hear myself talk back, I just hit that, and now I'm hearing myself talk back, and I'm talking slow because of the latency. So we don't need that. Same goes for instrument track. You can either hit add track or add instrument track as instrument track, or the better way to do it is just go to your browser, go to your instruments, and then just drag in the instruments. For example, Serum. Drag it in there. It does it all for you. Boom. Serum is all ready to go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And something else I want to show you. Mixer. Back on the output. The one thing I know a lot of people want that don't have access to, or I keep talking about all the time in all my dang videos, is the K scale. If you right click on the actual mixer, the output, you can change it to a K scale. So you have a built-in K scale right inside of your DAW. So you can see the levels of the K scale, which is pretty cool. And you can turn this to a K scale. VU hole and all that, so we ain't worried about that. But yeah, so if you need a K scale and a mix with a K scale, you got it right there, or just a regular peak RMS metering. Yeah, so I guess that's about it for this first introduction kind of overview of Studio One. Like I said, I know I went over everything a little fast, and I meant to do that on purpose to give you kind of like a brief overview. So at least with this, you can kind of get an idea and start going about it yourself. Until I start releasing the other videos where I'm gonna start, going into detail about how to do audio and MIDI and all that, because it's a bunch in there. But I want to give you kind of a brief overview of getting started with Studio One. So there you go. So I know people been asking for me to do videos like this, and here they is right here, and they're gonna keep on coming. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoy. Like always, y'all know who it is. It's your boy Slim, aka Mr. Different. Like always, like, comment, subscribe, and view. Not motivated by money, but you like, comment, subscribe, and views. Hope you guys are enjoying as always. And now y'all know what it is. Check out Space Sauce Volume 1. Use the coupon code TBL Take 5. I'll put in a link below for you guys. Get that coupon code and all that good mess. And with that being said, hope you guys enjoying. Guess what? I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.